We have another example on the board. In order to find voltage source, I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem. Voltage source is equal square root, open parenthesis, VR square plus VC square. Why I'm using Pythagorean theorem? Because I have voltages given across the resistor and across the capacitor, but I'm missing angles. So first I have to find the magnitude, okay, of my voltage source, and Pythagorean theorem is going to help me with that. So I have square root, open parenthesis, and I have 80 volts to the second power plus 60 volts to the second power. This is equal 100 volts. And please keep in mind that we will always try to have voltage source with angle of 0 degrees. Next, we're supposed to find resistance and capacitive reactance. Why? Because voltage across the resistor is given, current is given, voltage across the capacitor is given, and current is given. You're supposed to realize that I total is equal to IR and is also equal to IC. And we said this is equal 4 milliamps. Please realize that this value, the value of current is not complete. Why? Because we are missing angle. We are going to find the angle soon. So, resistance is equal voltage across the resistor divided by the current which goes through the resistor, where VR is equal 80 volts and current which goes through the resistor is equal 4 milliamps. So resistance is equal 20 kilo ohms. Next, I can find X of C. X of C is equal voltage across the capacitor over the current which goes through the capacitor. VC is equal 60 volts over 4 milliamps. This is equal 15 kilo ohms, and remember X of C goes always with angle of negative 90 degrees. We found the resistance and we found the capacitive reactance, and we know that this is series circuit. In order to find Z total, I'm supposed to simply add these two values together. So I have Z total is equal resistance plus X of C. So I have 20 kilo ohms plus 15 kilo ohms and angle of negative 90 degrees. This is equal 25 kilo ohms and angle of negative 36.87 degrees. So this is my Z total. Next, I can get back to the current. Current total is equal voltage source over Z total. We said we want to keep voltage source with angle of 0 degrees, and we found that Z total has angle of negative 36.87 degrees. We know that the magnitude of the current is equal 4 milliamps. That's why I'm going to write over here 4 milliamps. And I'm going to just look at the angles. 0 minus negative 36.87 degrees is equal 36.87 degrees. If you don't know what I'm doing over here, you're supposed to review the complex numbers. So this is my I total. This is the complete answer for I total. Next, we're supposed to find the frequency. Frequency I'm going to find from the formula for capacitive reactance. X of C is equal 1 over 2 pi Fc. Solve this formula for F. So I have F equals 1 divided by, open parenthesis, 2 pi times X of C times C. Close parenthesis, this is equal 1 divided by 2 pi times X of C, which is equal 15 kiloohms, times C, which is equal 47 nanofarads. This is equal 225.75 Hertz. So this is the frequency of my power supply. Next, we're supposed to find omega, angular velocity, or also called the radiant frequency. Omega is equal 2 pi F. This is the formula for it. So I have 2 pi times frequency, 225.75 Hertz. This is equal 1.41 times 10 to the third radians per second. This is my angular velocity. Next, I'm supposed to find the powers: true power, reactive power, and apparent power. So, true power, P, is equal IR squared times resistance. IR is 4 milliamps, has to be raised to the second power, times resistance, which is equal 20 kiloohms. This is equal 320 milliwatts. This is my true power. Next, I'm supposed to find the reactive power. QC is equal IC squared times X of C. This is equal 4 milliamps raised to the second power times X of C, which is equal 15 kiloohms. This is equal 240 millivolt ampere reactance. And apparent power S is equal I total squared times Z total, which is equal 4 milliamps, the second power, times Z total, which is equal 25 kiloohms. This is equal 400 millivolt ampere. Next, we're supposed to find the power factor. Power factor is equal cosine of angle theta. This is equal cosine of angle negative 36.87 degrees. This is equal 0.8, and we're supposed to write the word lead. Why lead? Because I have negative sign next to my angle, and because this is RC circuit. In the RC load, right, load to the voltage source, the current is going to always lead the voltage source, okay? The current in the RC circuit will lead the voltage source, okay? So that's why I have word lead next to it. So I can say that we found everything. The problem is solved.